we recognize that there are key stakeholders outside of the airport. What you'll find with airports is generally we do not have an advocacy group. There's normally no particular group that advocates on behalf of airports. It's normally the airport director or whoever the city or the state is that owns the airport. But that's key to an airport to have a body that is out there arguing on behalf of the airport in an independent manner. Those interests, those initiatives that are in the airport's interest, which tend to be in the public's interest as well. Next week, Wednesday, the mayor is going to announce, and I'm not going to preempt the mayor's announcement, but the mayor is going to announce a major public-private partnership between the city of Cleveland, specifically the airport, and the Greater Cleveland Partnership. And again, that's a little teaser. I won't give you too much of it, but we're serious about public-private partnerships. And again, I don't know how we could advance the mission of the airport without having good partners in the private sector.
Do you want to make a comment?
Just briefly, ports like airports in a way. He flies, we sail. It's government-owned, but it's a business. We have tenants on our site, so those are business relationships. We have steamship lines, big boats that come and call on us. Those are relationships. We have a foreign company that operates part of our terminal with us and for us called Federal Marine from Montreal. That's a business relationship. We're building a new port, and if that port's going to create more business, there'll be more revenue for all of those players and some others, and then there'll be folks that will want to invest in that project. And to the extent that we can be a hub in this community for causing people to invest in the community, even invest in our own projects, we see that as exciting. Folks taking risk on our community, causing our project to be built bigger and faster. So to the extent we operate that business, but it's an economic development tool, but it's also a magnet for investment. That's the nature of where we would like to be.
And I think it gets back to the old adage, these folks give us the foundation as the business community representative to do business in the community, to have the assets that make a difference in how we build commerce, create jobs, and drive business growth. And all three of these folks and our other partners who are out there working day to day on delivering those fundamental assets that make the difference in how private business makes a decision on where they want to operate, where they want to grow, and where they want to locate. And I have to say, I haven't, not in my 20 years, seen this much collaboration and effort and communication among the multiple agencies, as I think we're witnessing today, not only with my three partners up here, but others, to create that atmosphere and create that climate so that we can continue to be an economic powerhouse, the strongest region in the state, and grow it and build it and bring jobs and people to our community.
It is not easy. It's not easy talking to the microphone. It is not easy as a public servant, and the airport director is a public servant. First, making those tough public policy decisions that are not popular, in the papers and the newscast and in the public in general. It's not easy, and then to execute those is even more difficult. And without having a group like the Greater Cleveland Partnership, for example, or other business stakeholder type organizations that are able to kind of pick up the baton and carry that public policy decision to the public on your behalf, it becomes a lot easier for us as public servants to make those tough decisions. Otherwise, they deem them political or whatever they may categorize those kinds of controversial decisions in that. And so, this public-private partnership discussion is very important, and it's a very important part of what we do.
Mr. Smith, prior to 9/11, airports start to look at other opportunities where airports were not just a transportation vehicle, but also bringing other kind of commerce and small business and what have you, more of a destination place. We know that's changed a little bit after September 11th. Just curious as to how does that impact at Hopkins and from the businesses that are there? Are they driven primarily from their private receipts, or also is there a public-private partnership where even the public sector has to support in some ways to keep those businesses viable?
Well, the significant impact on airports is because of the security measures that were put in place, the security checkpoints. It, in essence, cut off about half of the customer base for the concessions program. For example, there were several airports, most notably Pittsburgh, that had a massive concessions program, a new concessions program that was that had a very significant number of concessions on the public side of the airport and on the secure side of the airport. When 9/11 kicked in, that cut off half of those passengers on the secure side of the airport. So the airports have had to beef up their concessions program on the secure side of the airport in order to kind of keep those revenues going. But the plus side to that is that because we have now conditioned the passengers to feel that they have to get to the airport an hour in advance, 2 hours in advance, and you all do get there an hour or two in advance, right? That the dwell times now are much longer, and so passengers are spending more money in the airports. And so that's been a significant plus to the airport. But we're still learning our way, figuring our way through the effects of 9/11. Every day a new security mandate comes down, and we have to adjust the way we do business for that reason. Life will never be the same. And we continue to evolve and figure out ways to recapture those revenues that we lost when 9/11 hit.
Today at the City Club, we have been listening to a special program featuring Ricky Smith of Cleveland's Department of Port Control, Bonnie Teeuwen of the Ohio Department of Transportation, Adam Wasserman of the Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Port Authority, and Deb Janik of the Greater Cleveland Partnership. Thank you, speakers. Thank you to the Greater Cleveland Partnership. We are now adjourned.